Hello, everyone. I'm Bonnie Kane-Wood, and we are here today in the Edmon Low Creative Studios. And this is a brand new space here in the library. It's designed to be a technology-rich space where students can experiment with some of the latest software and devices. Excuse my voice, sorry. And we want to make these kind of tools accessible to all OSU students so that we provide opportunities for students to develop proficiency and a comfort level with the kinds of technology they will need to be successful here at OSU and beyond. Sorry, guys. To that end, we are hosting this monthly series called Tech Tuesday at 2. It's going to be held on the first Tuesday of the month, and we'll be meeting here in the Edmon Low Creative Studios for interactive showcases of emerging technology and hands-on demonstrations. Today, we are going to talk about GoPros, and you have a GoPro there on your desk. These are small, high-definition cameras, best known for their use in extreme action video. And we're going to start off our program today with a brief overview provided by Nina Thornton, our multimedia producer here at the library. We're going to follow it up with some Q&A and discussion. And if you are watching on our live stream, you can participate in the discussion as well. Tweet us your questions with the hashtag LibTech2s. Along the way, we're going to be drawing for prizes, including a GoPro 4 Silver. And so if you are an OSU student and you're here with us today, be sure to fill out one of our entry forms and get it in the basket before we finish our Q&A. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Nina.
Hey guys, so glad you guys came today for our first Tech Tuesday. We are really excited, and today we are going to talk about GoPros. First, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview in what I call my frequently asked questions, things that you probably want to know, you have in your head, and then we're going to kind of get a little bit more in depth with some of the functions of GoPro that you can use and get the most out of your GoPro. Okay? So first, with my frequently asked questions, people ask me, why have a GoPro when I have a phone with a waterproof case? It's really actually a good question. My first answer is why not? I am a techie. I have 2 SLRs, I have 2 computers, I have 2 laptops. If it's tech, I want it. And GoPros are really cool. The next thing, durability. I can take this thing everywhere. I don't really want to take my contacts, my phone pictures, the things that I value most, because I take pictures of everything, with me in my kayak. If it gets wet, I'm going to start to panic a little, okay? This thing can be put into a waterproof case, which is wonderful, which your cell phone can too, but it comes with convenient little floaty devices, which makes it pop right up to the top. There are a lot of accessories that you can buy to make this pretty much danger-proof, okay? Your versatility. It is so versatile, it goes from video to photos, to night lapse mode. You can have video plus photos, so if you're taking video, you can also snap photos without hitting a single button. This thing is actually kind of cool. So what's in the box is my next question. When I get a GoPro, what is in the box? Okay? You have your camera, your standard housing, and all of this is actually in your kit on your table. You'll be able to follow along with me. These are your housings, okay? They are interchangeable. They're wonderful. You have things that are waterproof. You have ones with holes in the back, and that's to air out your camera. Your rechargeable battery, your adhesive mounts. Your adhesive mounts are the things that you can put on your helmet, things that you can put on your car, which is actually kind of neat when you go mudding, okay? These are the things that stick to things. You have a curved one, you have a flat one. What comes with your camera, I believe, is the flat one. And maybe the curved one as well. Both. That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. So you also have your pivot arm, which allows you to pivot north, south, east, west. You have your quick release buckles, your USB cable, of course, your skeleton, and your touch back door. Okay, your touch back door is, again, one of those housings, so you can touch if you have a screen back there. Okay? So this one is water resistant. My next frequently asked question is it water resistant, and how far underwater can I go? Your standard housing that comes with your GoPro is going to be 131 feet. Pretty cool. Your dive housing, which is specifically for the underwater diving, 197. So you can go 197 feet with that bad boy. Okay? So, hey. So your software, the other thing is, you know, I'm not a professional editor. If I want to edit this, how do I edit my footage? I have all this great stuff. GoPro Studio is free, provided by GoPro. It's wonderful. Speed up, slow down, import, export, save your footage, clip it, crop it. Do everything that you pretty much need to do. Your GoPro app also is great. I prefer it, actually. Your GoPro, with your GoPro app, you can actually do your settings, change your settings. You wirelessly remote to it. You change your settings, you change your details. You can actually save right from your device on your phone to your phone for instant upload. Okay? So both for free. Both great resources. All right, this chart is not meant to be read. Okay, so if you can't see it, I understand. The other two questions that I get are in the next two slides. One, how long will my battery last? That is a really good question. How long will your battery last? This is the chart depending on the mode you're in. It goes anywhere from, oh, this is recording time, just kidding. It goes anywhere from 55 minutes to 3 minutes, depending on what mode you're in. Okay, so that's continuous shooting. Okay, the next question is, I have a 64 gig card. How long can I shoot continuously with a 64 gig card? Okay, so given that, this is the other chart. Normal recording mode, you can go from 4K, 2 hours in 15 minutes, roughly, all the way up to when you're in your lower, not HD modes, 4 hours and 22 minutes. So there's a good range for you. If you're going to go up there to your 1080s, to your higher resolutions, you're going to have shorter record time. Again, about 2 hours. If you go down in your lower resolution recordings, you're going to have about 4 hours. Okay? This information is really easy to find on GoPro.com. It's under support. So if you ever want to know exactly how long, there's a resource for you. The basics. So like I said, everything is charged. You are more than welcome to play with the GoPro as I go along. This one is actually on. Turning your GoPro on and off, okay? There's a button right at the front. It has your typical logo that looks like an on and off circle with a line. That's how you turn it on and off. This one's currently on. You just depress that button, and it comes right on for you. You do the same thing to turn it off, okay? Navigating the menu, that is also how you navigate the menu. Ooh. Hey, look, I have a screen. The menu, okay? So the menu you can go through just by pressing this button, okay? You can switch modes like you see here on the upper right-hand or left-hand corner. Playback, setup, video mode, photo mode, and your lapse mode, okay? You can select these by pressing the top button, okay? That is also your record button. My SD card's empty. In setup, you'll find your wireless settings, your touch display, orientation up and down. If you have to turn the camera over, it'll orient itself to you. Default mode. What is my mode? Default mode is what mode, when I come on, do you want me to automatically be in? Okay. Quick capture. There's a quick capture option. When you have that on and you pull it up, you can actually just tap this. It automatically comes on for a quick capture. You don't have to wait for this to boot up at all. So if you have that situation really quickly where you're being attacked by a bear but you want a picture, that'll do it. NTSC, because we're in America. Beautiful. So that's how you go through some of those settings. Your housing. Your housing is what I talked about when I told you that there are waterproof options. Okay? In your case in front of you, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. These are designed, the ones with the holes are designed to be touchscreen. Okay, so if you have a screen on and you need to get through it, like the GoPro 4 Silver, actually has a built-in touchscreen, and it will use one of the basic housing. You can touch through. Okay. The other two you see that are rather thick are the ones that you will purchase when you purchase the backpack. Now the backpack is a video screen that you can put on the back of your GoPro, because the GoPro 4 Silver is the only one right now that has a video screen that's on the back natively. Okay. Other than that, you actually have to buy. It's on the GoPro. This little screen. This little screen gives you the touchscreen availability, possibilities there, so you can easily navigate through your menu. If you don't have the GoPro 4 Silver, I highly recommend the touchscreen. Okay? It's going to allow you to view what the camera's viewing. If you don't have this, you have to guess. Okay? The GoPro app helps you with that as well, because it gives you that live view. So if you don't want to do this and you want to take your phone, you can also live view it on your phone. Okay? Your remote. This is a little bit of an older remote. Okay? There are new ones that allow you to change your settings. This one allows you to turn your camera on or off. It allows you to cycle through your modes. Maybe. It also allows you to hit the record button for photos or video. Okay? This also, again, comes in this kit that you can check out for 3 days with us at Creative Studios. So photos. Let's kind of get into these settings. With the photo option, you have your single photo option, mode single. Okay? What that's going to do is snap one photo. Single photo. You have an option for megapixels, 12 megapixels, 7 megapixel, 5 megapixel. If we have any photogs in the house? Anybody? No? No worries. So you can change your megapixels there. Spot meter, what that does is put the focus in the front, focus right in the middle, and it actually allows your camera to sense light and dark very quickly. So if you're biking, if you're going through the forest, and you go from shade to light to shade to light to shade to light, you're going to want spot meter on. Okay? ProTune is for my editing folks. We'll get into ProTune later because there are some settings there that if you want to edit your photos and if you want to edit your video, that's something that's going to be more intense. What they've designed it for is for your shots to not necessarily look like the typical saturated GoPro that you're used to. It's going to allow you to have a more neutral base in your colors so that you can match shots. So again, that's for my editing folks. Okay. Wrong one. Continuous photo. Ooh. See, this is why I like the app, because you can just swipe and click. Continuous. Continuous will take photos for you as long as you hold this shutter button down, up to 30 photos. Okay? Unfortunately, the remote does not allow you to do continuous mode with that remote that comes in your kit. Okay? So again, you would hold this button down. It'll take up to 30 photos. Okay, that's continuous mode. Again, you have intervals, so you can do 3 frames per second if you'd like. You can do 5 frames per second if you'd like. Next mode we have is night mode, okay? Again, you're going to want to adjust some of your settings here, okay? Your shutter is how much light it lets in, so it's how quickly that closes, that shutter closes on you. If it's really fast, it doesn't let a lot of light in. If it's really slow, it lets more light in, okay? And I'll show you what those options are. Two seconds. So your shutter will pop open, count 1, 2, and then close, okay? When you see 5 seconds, pops open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then close. So it keeps going up all the way to 30, okay? So that will stay open. That's for really, really dark nights when you want to capture the sky. You want to capture those stars. You're going to brighten it up as much as possible, so your shutter speed is going to be a little bit slower at 30 seconds, okay? Again, you have your megapixel, you have your spot meter, and you have your Pro Tune, okay? So the only thing that has changed is your shutter speed on that one. All right. The next function we have, again, we have photo, we have lapse or burst, and then we have your video function on here. This is your lapse, your burst mode, okay? Ooh, I keep hitting that button. So your burst mode, you can change your rate, 3 photos per second, 5 per second, 10 per second, and 10 per 2 seconds. Okay, so that's where you get your rate here. So again, every second, 10 photos. Every 2 seconds, 10 photos. But you don't have to hold the button down. That's the difference between your continuous mode and this mode. Okay? Again, you have your megapixel option, 12775. Spot meter again, and your Pro Tune. Time lapse. Do like a good time lapse. So let's say, what's a good time lapse? I have a good one for night time lapse, of course. Can't come up with an example. Yeah, there you go. So setting it all alone, what we did a couple years ago was we actually set this bad boy when you could get all the way up to the top and they weren't doing some renovations up there. We set it right on the top, looked down, and watched everybody construct their homecoming flyers, boards, stands. And over time, you could see it built, okay? We also, if you are a member of our Facebook page or our Twitter page, OK State Library, you'll see kind of a welcome back video where we did a time-lapse video. We just set it for every so often. It would take that picture. We combined them all together in software and created a time-lapse video so you saw over time what kind of happened and who came through the library, which was kind of neat. So again, you can set your intervals, 1 photo for every 0.5. 1 for 1 second, 1 for 2, 1 photo every 5 seconds, 1 photo every 10 seconds, 1 every 30, and 1 every 60. So you have a lot of options there, okay? A lot of options there. Your night lapse. I love night lapse. I haven't quite got the hang of it yet because I have ambient light in my backyard that's driving me crazy. So night lapse, you want to capture those beautiful stars. You're out camping. You're in your hammock, swinging gently in the breeze. That's a good thought. You have your GoPro that will automatically take shots for you, just like the time lapse, but it's in a night setting. So what it's going to allow the GoPro to do is capture more of that light, so it illuminates that sky a little bit so you can see those really pretty stars going around the curvature of the Earth. It's a wonderful thing. My heart lies in camping, sorry. So you can change your shutter speed, which is, again, pops open, 2 seconds, then closes, not a lot of light, and it can go all the way up. Interval, every 4 seconds, it takes a shot. Every 10 seconds, it can take a shot. You have your megapixels, your spot meter again, and your Pro Tune. Okay, this is your big one. This is your video mode. This is where your GoPro is going to give you so many options, it's mind-blowing, okay? Somebody actually wrote a review and said there are 137 different options for video taking. I am not going to do that to you today. That's craziness, and you won't like me anymore. So, let's talk about a couple of things. Resolution, okay? Let's cycle through here. Okay. So, you hear all this talk about 4K. Does anybody know what 4K is? Anybody have a guess what 4K is? There's a 16 gig jump drive in it for you. Basically, 4,000 pixels. Thank you. So what they did to your typical 180, which is what your HD TV is in, it's in 180, okay? 1920 by 180, okay? It stretched it. It made it bigger. It put more pixels in there, so everything is sharper. The color's more crisp. And that's what GoPro does for you. They have a 4K option in there that's really kind of cool. The difference between this camera and your previous version of camera is that this offers you different frames per second, okay? When we talk about frames per second, what we talk about is there are 30 pictures, 30 still images in 1 second of video, 30 frames per second, okay? So what they're doing here is offering you 30 frames a second, or typical cinema is shot in 24 frames per second, okay? So typical TV is going to be 30 frames, or even 60 frames a second. Oh, state TV. Or 30 frames a second, okay? So you can't really go wrong with 30 or 24 frames per second, so just know that. When in doubt, 30 frames a second is a wonderful thing if you want to bump it up a little bit because you want the ability to slow your video down by 15%, give or take. 60 frames per second, okay? So you have your 4K, which again is that larger view. 2.7, so we're only getting smaller. Still beautiful video quality, okay? 1440, smaller. 180, which is your typical HD, 1920 by 180. It's your typical resolution for your HD TV. That's your 16 by 9 TV, okay? Again, you have the options, but I have 120 frames per second. 120 frames per second allows you to slow down your video. If you want that really pretty, slowed down skateboarding shot where you're just jumping over that, that's what you want. You can never go wrong with 180, it's your typical HD. 180, 30, 60, 120, okay? The only caveat to that is when you get up in those higher frame rates, your light tends to go down just a little bit, okay? So your shot tends to get a tad bit darker, but not super crazy. .960 is where you'll see a change. 960 is where you'll see, old television set, 4:3. And that means it's not 16 by 9 widescreen anymore. It's a 4:3 picture, okay? Now you can stretch that in GoPro Studio. You can stretch things. So you can put it into a 16 by 9, but that's all it's going to do is stretch those outsides. 720 in WVGA is true 4 by 3 WVGA, but WVGA goes all the way up to 240 frames per second. So your goal is to slow down that video. WVGA 240, that's the highest frame rate that you're going to get. Okay? So as you go down in resolution, you can do more frames per second because it's also taking up a little less of your card the slower you go down, so it's that ratio. More resolution, bigger picture, less frames per second, okay? And as you get a little bit lower resolution, more frames per second. It's the processing speed of a GoPro, okay? All right, I promised you photo plus video, didn't I? Video plus photo, when do you want that? I can imagine someone surfing a wave that wants that killer footage of them surfing, but also wants that killer tunnel shot, that one photo that they can just upload and say, haha, caught a killer wave. I'm awesome. Okay? What that does is whatever video you select, so if you are in 180, it's going to take your photo in 180. Okay? If you are in 720, it's also going to match. So it'll also take in 720, it is going to match your settings. Okay? So you can't adjust them. But again, you have one photo every 5 seconds, which is nice. Your field of view is something that's kind of interchangeable within all modes. You have narrow, medium, because it's 720 and 4 by 3. You have narrow, medium, and wide, okay? You have your narrow, which is your 4 by 3. Everything in here is good. You have your medium. It opens it up a little bit, so you have a little bit of a wider view, okay? Then you have your wide. That's your typical GoPro wide, okay? So you see from peripheral, kind of peripheral. But there's one other setting that's kind of cool, and it's super view. And I'll talk to you about that. Super view. Super view extends your field of view a little bit past your peripherals. So all of your, if you're climbing, okay, and you have this bad boy on your helmet, okay? You want to see as much of that pretty scenery as possible, you're going to go with super view. Let me see if I can get in there. Nope. That's fine. Field of view. That's why. Okay. I'll get there eventually. That's why I like the app. Makes me happy. So what Super View is going to do for you while I kind of pull that up there? Oh my goodness. It's going to take what's in the center of your screen, okay? So really the focus of what you're looking at is going to want to be in the center of your screen. What it's going to do is take these sides and stretch it. Kind of like I talked about with the 4 by 3. It's going to take those sides and stretch it. So if you ask yourself, why is my video blurry on the side? You're probably in Super View, because it does. It takes that 4 by 3. It takes that smaller section that's in focus. That's why it's touchscreen. And it's going to expand those sides. You're going to get a little bit of a blurrier view, but you're still going to be all-encompassing with your peripherals. Okay? That's a 4x3. Oh, goodness, come on. You crazy thing. There it is. Yay, everybody clap for me. Yeah, right? All right. We like it. Exit. Okay. Ultra view. Okay. You can pretty much see things. You can see my hand way over here. Okay. So it's going to be all encompassing with that super view. Okay. So that's one of those pieces of jargon that you'll see in there that don't be confused about. It just means it's a really, really wide GoPro view. The other thing that I was going to talk about is ProTune. Okay, like I said, it's for my video editing and my photog friends out there. Okay. What ProTune allows you to do is change the options that are very specific to a look that you want. So you kind of have to know what you're going for. Okay. In this particular mode, you can change your color. GoPro has a wonderful processor that allows you to have this magnificent, crisp, saturated, vibrant color to it. Okay? You can choose that option in this, or you can choose flat. What the flat is going to do for you is give you a more neutral color palette, which you can match your other footage to. So if you're using this as one of your car chase scenes, you can certainly use this. Your ISO, your sharpness, you have the ability to choose whether or not you want it really, really sharp, get those details, those pixels are really, really crisp, or you can choose to lower it down a little bit. Okay? Your EV compensation, when you see that in here, it's basically how much light you're letting into the camera. So again, a little bit more specifics for the folks that are going to be editing. Okay? Your white balance. White balance is what you set your camera to your color temperature. Okay? Your color tone is based on the environment with auto, so it automatically does it for you. 6500K, if you are in an overcast place and you are in this mode, okay, you're going to want 6500K if you were in overcast conditions. Then you move down 5500K, daylight, which is what typically, it's kind of an Oklahoma day. Okay. 3000 is warm light in lower light situations. And your native is basically using what the GoPro gave you. Okay, it's going to optimize those settings for you. Okay? How am I doing on time?
Great. You want to see if anyone has questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know I've given you some good information, some detailed information. And again, we'll go over, I'm going to leave this up here because I know that a lot of folks have these questions about, you know, how long can I shoot for and in what setting? I'm going to go ahead and leave the settings up here as well so you can see those. If you have any questions for me right now, we are opening it up not only to you guys, but also to our Twitter followers. Again, hashtag LibTech2s, so you can do that live. What are some questions you guys have for me? Yes. Different upload speeds. What are you? Do something with the video. What are you using? Gotcha. So it depends on how long your video is and what mode you're shooting in, and I hate to say that.
Right, okay, so if you're doing 4K.
4K?
Let's say it's 3 minutes long.
Yeah, that's going to take quite a bit of time. I personally don't shoot in 4K because not every computer and processor or editing software can process 4K. So I generally shoot in 1080, and I can put that bad boy on my computer with a pretty good processor on it in a few minutes. Okay? And I also edit with Premiere Pro, so she's on the move. She's quick. But we're opening these creative studios up And these computers, your Mac station, your Windows station, are going to be fully stocked with Adobe Creative Suite. So if you wanted to do it in here with a fast processor, this is where you come. Okay? Any other questions for me? I know we ran through a lot in a little time. I apologize for that.
Alrighty, well thank you very much, Nina. If y'all have more questions about GoPros or how to edit the video after you've finished with your GoPro, I invite you to come visit with some of the knowledgeable staff we have here in the Edmon Low Creative Studios, or we also have a library subscription to lynda.com. You can check out a seat here in the Creative Studios to use lynda.com. It's an online training database. It focuses on training videos on almost any tech-related topic you can think about. Our next Tech Tuesday at 2 is going to be October 6th, and we are going to learn to master the montage. Participants will learn video editing basics, and we are also going to be giving away some more great prizes at that event as well. And speaking of prizes, let's go ahead and draw for ours. Can you, yay, get excited, guys. Has everybody who is an OSU student put their name in the drawing? We're good, we're good? All right. Okay, the first one we're going to draw for is going to be for the GoPro 4 Silver. And our winner is Kiara Miller. Yeah, all right, congratulations. If you can visit with Jackie right here, she's going to have a little bit of paperwork to sign, and we will get you your GoPro. Shall we draw for a couple more small prizes? Do people want a couple smaller prizes? Yeah. Maybe? Yeah, we love prizes. Okay, David Thomas. We have a 16 gig thumb drive. Thank you. Okay, and then we also have some Pistol Pete screen wipes. They've been very popular. Aaron Kraft. Aaron. Oh. And Daniel Wood. And Geraldine Blaine. And Christina Spinks. Christina? Oh, okay. Well, the lady who buys the prizes just said everybody gets a screen wipe. So on your way out, come on up and get yourself a screen wipe. All right. Let's see. Okay, so at each of our LibTech Tuesdays, we're going to have chances to win more great prizes like the GoPro. And we are also going to be presenting $600 in total prizes for our Library Creativity Award. It's a brand new award that we are giving out this spring. We're going to be announcing more information about that as the deadline nears. But if you have any questions, please visit our website or talk to any of the event staff. If you have suggestions for future Tech Tuesday at 2 topics, please tweet them to us with the hashtag LibTech2s. And now we're going to focus on the hands-on demonstration portion. So you're welcome to stay and play with the GoPros. Nina will be here if you have some real specific questions you want her to show you on the GoPro itself. We are going to conclude our live stream. Big thank you to our friends at O State TV for helping make that happen.